Hello, my name is Dara Tomasson. I'm a professional long arm quilter where I run a business from my home. I also help support other long arm quilters help build their business and build their free motion quilting skills. And so that's the purpose of this me coming on YouTube, is to help you out there to do those things. Today's video is about panels. If this video resonates with you and you want more information, if you subscribe and then you press the little bell, it will let you know when a new video comes out, and they come out every Wednesday. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about panels. Now, I feel very special talking about these panels because I actually know the designer. She is a really good friend of mine, and she designed these panels with Riley Blake Designs, who I also really love. The company, I know the people, and they're amazing. So these are really beautiful large panels, and they come in different sports. Now, I'm not necessarily here promoting you to buy these panels, but what I'm really talking about, if you want to, of course you should, but what I'm talking about is when we are quilting and when we're deciding on making a quilt or doing a quilt for someone, we need to think about the purpose of the quilt and what's it going to do. So a beauty of a panel is it's already done for you. So it is okay. I'm going to give you permission right now. You do not have to spend hours and hours piecing a quilt to say that you really do love somebody. Okay? So I'm just giving you that permission right away. We don't necessarily have to spend all the time putting the quilt together to have a quilt that's going to really be significant to the person you give it to. It's like a gift of time. The panel did it already for you. So one of the things I love about these panels is that the colors all go together. It's super cute, and there's lots of diversity. So this one's a basketball, which is like really big at our house. I have 5 children, and they all play basketball. She has like lacrosse, soccer, volleyball, all sorts. Now, I'm going to show you. So I have 3 quilts that I did up. And so my machine, I have a Gamble with a Statler stitcher. That's a computerized quilting. Now these panels I'm going to show you, you can either have, it's called a pantograph or an edge-to-edge design. So what that means is it has a paper with designs on it, and then if you don't have a computer, you put the pantograph, this long scroll of paper, on the back side of your machine, and there's a laser pointer that then goes around. So you can buy the pantographs on paper, or you can download them onto your machine, which is super cool. So one day my son said to me, "Mom, I really want to keep reading our book." I said, "Well, honey, I have these things I need to do, these quilts." And he said, "Okay, well," you could just see the look in his eyes. He felt so sad. Really good book series, by the way, Gregor the Overlander. Highly recommend them. Whether you have kids or not, it's a great read. So I thought, well, I'm creative. Let me do this. And so I had all this Minky, and we're going to talk about Minky in a minute. And so I'd already quilted 2 for my friend, actually, the designer. And I thought, well, I already have the Minky on there, and I didn't cut it individually because it was all in one big roll. And so I decided I will read while the machine is quilting, and then when the machine has quilted its band of stitching, then we take a little break, I'll adjust the machine, and then it will stitch away, and we'll continue reading. So we did that for 3 quilts. It was awesome. So that's just a side note. Anyways, so this quilt is the girl version of the soccer. So super fun. And so because this is like going to be cuddly, actually these quilts are for sale. I'm gonna have to the binding on them. But because it's like cuddly, soft, and comfy quilt, I didn't want to have a lot of dense quilting. So I decided to have kind of a larger all-over design on the quilt. And as you can just imagine, it is just like the perfect weight and amount of quilting on there. So that is when I decided for that one. And then here I have a boy hockey quilt. So I'm Canadian, so I'm sure this would be very popular around our parts. So this one's the boy one, and I decided to just do, this is one of my clients' favorite designs. Like many of my clients choose this one hands down to other ones. And so it's just like super gender neutral. And because I have on the computer, I can make it more densely quilted or more open like this. And so this one is going to be just a super cozy quilt for somebody. And then I use the same soccer panel, but I decided on a different design. So you can see it's also more openly quilted, but it has a nice pretty design on there that complements the panel. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is that panels are really helpful. They're super quick for projects. Now, just as a note for you long armers out there, when you're stitching, or for potential people who potentially want to get panels quilted, one of the things about panels that could cause a little bit of anxiety when you're quilting is that when the panel is printed, it's actually printed just on the one side. It's printed top down. And so sometimes this can happen. And really it's because when we have print fabric that's printed, it's generally on both sides. And so you don't have that same kind of run. And so don't be alarmed with it. It's just part of the process of quilting on a panel. And so there's nothing really you can do about it. There's been lots of discussion out there on the internet from many professional long arm quilters, changing needles, different kinds of needles, thread, all of that, pre-wash or not. It's just part of that. This is what it takes. This is what it looks like when you have a digitally printed piece of fabric. And so it's nothing really to worry about. It's just part of that process. So anyways, I wanted to just come on here quickly to talk about the beauty of panels. There are lots of panels available out there. They can serve you really quickly if you need a quick quilt to do up. And as I recommend you approach deciding on a panel design, is to have something, again, remember what the purpose of the quilt is, not to have the quilting too dense, because if you really want it to be like a nice cozy quilt. So anyways, I hope that you enjoy that. I hope that you experiment and want to play around with panels. They are super fast, super fun, and really can you just imagine this quilt in the arms of some teenager or the sport enthusiast that's going to wrap themselves around on the quilt with one of these amazing quilts. Thank you for joining me in this video. If you have any other questions about panels or how to decide on what edge-to-edge design to use, please let me know. Leave a comment below. I'm here to help you. If you want to find me, I'm on Dara Tomasson on Instagram, and my website is daratomasson.com.